Welcome to the Building on Purpose TubeCast, where contractors share how they build with intention, purpose, and impact. Noe, welcome, brother.
Thanks, man. Happy to be here.
Just jumped right in today because, look, every time that I do a podcast or if I do a TubeCast here at Building on Purpose TubeCast, we start chucking it up, talking about life, and then something really cool comes out of that conversation, and then you look at each other and go, dude, we forgot to hit record. So I always now just say, let's jump in and go live and make this happen, bro. So thank you for joining me today, man. This is, folks, if this is your first time seeing this is the Building on Purpose TubeCast. And people are like, what the hell is a TubeCast? Well, here's where I got the name TubeCast from. Nobody has an iPod anymore that they actually use. I mean, I've got one and it's got Godsmack and maybe Metallica on it. I used to use it when I was running and boxing. And that was a long time ago. I don't think we do iPods anymore. We have phones. And I think the majority of people go to YouTube and watch and listen now. So anyway, that's where TubeCast came from. So that's what we call it here, brother. And kind of the framework of what we do here, folks, if this is your first time seeing this, is we're going to kind of talk to Noe. He's with A&A Roofing, and we're going to talk to him about 5 specific things like, I don't know. He's probably got no idea what we're going to talk about. He's going to talk about his why they start the company, who they serve, who their perfect customer is, what their differentiating factors are. So that's kind of the idea. It's a short 30-minute TubeCast here. So let's get to see what's going on over in Noe's. Noe's, what's going on, man? What's happening in your world, brother?
Yeah. No, well said, man. I didn't know you did boxing, by the way. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was doing some I did Krav Maga for a while. I did Muay Thai for a while. The last time that I did Muay Thai was in Florida before we moved out to Utah. And I did it just for kind of like I needed to stop. Like I love working so much that work became my hobby and my work and my lifestyle. Like I need to get out of the house because I'm just in the house. So I joined up with Muay Thai in Boca Raton. And I go and I'm training with this guy that's about my age. And then our trainer was about 19. And then there was some couple other guys in their 20s. So it would be like 4 or 5 of us that would show up every morning at 6 o'clock. And the coach was horrible. He would just let us beat the living crap out of each other in the ring. I'd come home injured every day. Because the guy that I would, who we'd spar against, nobody knew how to go 60%, 80%, 50%, 40%. They just go in there. And this guy that was my age, 55, dude, he'd hit me so hard. It wasn't sparring. This guy was in a fucking street fight with me. So like, it just got to the point where I looked at my wife. I said, I'm done. I said, our coach is horrible. And I have to blame the coach. Because if he had control and explained to people, look, here's 40%, here's 50, here's 80, here's 100, you're sparring. We want you at 50% today, guys, to work on form, right? Instead, he just lets guys go in there, beat the living shit out of each other. Like, what the fuck, man? I was done. I had a bad coach. If I had a good coach, I'd probably still be training.
I can relate with that, and I know what you mean when you say that because my senior year in high school, I had going into my senior year, I had a really good summer camp at the University of Oregon. And I was going to really focus on basketball because that was like my favorite sport. That's what I really wanted to pursue. And so I was a 4-sport athlete. To be honest, man, like it was one of those things that like my senior year, my freshman year, we had 20-some freshmen. So we were really, really bad. But the good thing is that when we were seniors, we had a really good squad. And so I was like really on the fence about playing football. And so anyways, they convinced me to play. And we had a really good team. And this one game specifically, right before halftime, the running back that we had fumbled the ball 5 times, 5 complete turnovers in the first half. And it was like, coach didn't pull him. We kept on running the ball. Every time we threw it, first down, 6 yards, 7 yards, first down. They couldn't stop us in the air. But he kept running the ball. And so right before the first half, I had the last play, and they hit me in the inside of my knee. And so they hit me so hard, it spun me around, and I fell. And I was like, oh, my God, like that was weird. It's never happened where I got hit so hard that it completely spun me around. And I went into the locker room, and I remember telling the coach, like, man, like, we're going to beat these guys, man. Like, I I don't know, but that freaking hurt, man. And I'm not a wimp. I've taken some hard hits, and I said, but I don't want to play the second half. Like, dude, you're not coaching, you know? Like, you're just like, I'm not gonna risk getting hurt over a game that we're gonna win. And he's like, my team's like, just play one more play one more quarter. Let us just get up the score a little bit. First play back from the half, we do a counter, and I break my leg. They face mask me. I planted my leg. Linebacker hit it, compound fracture. Bone popped out. Dude, it was bad. And so that ruined my senior year, man. And so I hear you. When you don't got good leadership and good coaching, man, bad stuff happens. So,
and this leads us right into what you and I do for a living, right?
Yeah.
It comes down to leadership. It comes down to training, supporting, and making sure that the folks that report up to you are getting good training, good support. And we're not letting them go into homes and fail and not tell customers the truth and disclose properly. Like, right? Like, man,
Yeah.
I just did we do live trainings over here at Improvifi for our clients every Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So today was a go-to-market training, and only one guy showed up. It's okay. I don't take it personally. I'm there doing my job. This guy shows up. Brother, Noe, this is the same thing. This guy is a new sales manager, and he's got 5 cowboys. So I told him, I said, all right, we got a job to do. This was a fun go-to-market meeting for me because I was like, this guy really needs my help. So thanks for showing up, right? So I'm not going to say who he is. But anyway, I said, have you ever seen that show Yellowstone? He's like, yeah, I think so. I said, well, there's this guy, his name is Rip. And Rip is the foreman. He's in charge. And these cowboys, and they're cowboys, all report up to him. But they follow Rip's orders. And they follow Rip because Rip is in charge. And they said, now Yellowstone wrangles the cattle and to do whatever the cowboys really do. I said, but without Rip, dude, all these cowboys are just going to do their things because their egos get in the way. So leadership and having a structured system and a prospect in life process in life will help you set up your businesses to run very systematic and programmatically for success.
Yeah. And going back to the question where you said, like, what's new, like in my life, and other than roofing and content, and then now kind of like I've been getting hit up with planning events. And so I have so much things, man. And I saw this video and it just kind of stayed in my mind since then. And they went to this guys that were in this like super nice Rolls Royce. And they went up to him and like, hey, what do you do? And he's like, man, it's not what we do, man. It's what we don't do. We don't smoke. We don't drink. We don't hang around negative people. And it's not about adding things. It's about taking things out of your life. And I had heard that a lot of times before, but man, it just like stuck with me in that video. And that was one of those things that like me as a business owner and a friend and a son and everything else that you fall under, like there's so many, like the world is pulling you in so many different directions. And it's not about adding more things to your life. It's about removing and subtracting things from your life, man. And so just really dialing in some things within the roofing company, man, we're scaling like crazy. And now with my content that I've been doing, that's just kind of really what I've been focused on as of lately, man.
I love it. Dude, what a great lead-in. Do you know who else uses that process and what you just said from that guy is Alex and Layla Hermosi, of course. They call it inversion tactic. So the inversion of, hey, what are you doing, right, is, hey, what are you doing to become so successful? And the guy was like, hey, no. It's not about what we're doing. It's about what we're not doing. Inversion tactics and strategies in your business, in your sales process, in your marketing, in your branding will attract and help more people because people are attracted to the inversion rather than the flip side of that. Very interesting, right? Because that's exactly what he said. It ain't what we're doing really because, yeah, it is. But it's what we're not doing. We're staying focused. We're paying attention. We're doing these things. I've got so many people that I know in this industry, and I even fell into this a long time ago, where I wanted to do everything. And you can't do everything. But what you can do is find out what you're really, really, really good at, stay super focused, and go after that one thing that you do really well. And then when other little things come in, shiny objects, say, inversion, no. That's what we're not going to do. Even if people say, oh, do this will help your business grow. No, it'll be a distractor. It happens to me every day over here in my business. And you know who stops me, Noe? My wife, she's the CFO of the company. I'm like, honey, I want to add this. She says, nope, it's not where we're focused. And then I come back to her the next day and go, honey, you're right. Thank you. So,
yeah. I feel like that's really important to have, man. And even if you don't have a wife that like is your accountability partner, like you as a business owner or me, myself as a business owner, there's things that like we have to like measure and track and then just like be hyper focused about that.
I love it.
Because there's things that I've done and that I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to answer phone calls. I'm going to send estimates out. I'm going to have sales meetings. I'm going to have production meetings. I have to pay bills. I have to send invoices. Like those are the things that the tasks are going to happen over and over and over again as long as my company exists because we're in a service-based business.
Yep.
But there's certain things that you need to do in order to move the needle forward.
Yes.
And sometimes those aren't the regular day-to-day tasks. Those are the things that you do before work, after work, on the weekend, when you do have time that actually move the needle forward. That may be creating SOPs, creating systems, creating processes. Before we just were like, man, like running a million. I tell people last year we did 5 million, man, and it was a very hard 5 million. It was a very frustrating.
It was a reactive 5 million.
And we did it with these. It wasn't with anything else but grit, because problems would happen in production, problems would happen in accounting, problems would happen in the sales process. And my instant thing was put the fire out and then, hey, we'll get to that later. We'll address it later. We're super busy right now. I don't have any time to do that right now. And so it happened again, and it would happen again. And so then all you're doing is playing firefighter, putting fires out instead of taking a step back and going, okay, what caused this?
Yeah.
Okay, this caused it. Now we create a system around this. Then that stops it, and then we don't have this issue again. Now we have that time available to do something else.
I love it. I love it, man. Good for you, bro. I've been the same, bro. You know, I worked for banks and lenders my whole life, 30 plus years. And, you know, we built Improvifi and we really learned quick, man. Building systems and processes, super important. Having a freaking amazing team and culture, super important. And that's kind of what this TubeCast is really kind of about that. It's about digging into kind of A&A roofing. So let's start with our interview question number one, man. And I know this is general, but it's important, I think, for anybody listening to understand so they can learn from you. What's your why? Start with the heartbeat of your why and kind of like what was your personal why behind getting into your business and building business? What happened to transpire in your life on your why? Why do you do what you do, man?
Right. And I feel like I'm in a very similar situation with a lot of people. We just start the thing without really understanding why. And then I feel like the why came for me as the journey was in motion, because when I started, man, like I got into my roofing company on accident. I bought my roofing company back in 2021. In a quick 1 minute summary, I graduated high school in 2017. In 2018, I moved over to the Tri-Cities, about an hour away from home. I grew up in Oregon, hour away. I moved over here to Washington, and I got a random job, and I was selling vacuums, and then I hated it, so I wanted to find something else, and then I got a job as a loader. So I thought I was going to be loading and offloading trucks. They gave me a harness and a rope, and they told me, hey, you're going to be the guy that's going to get up on the roof and load the roofs for the roofers. And then so that's how I got into roofing, was by stacking the bundles and the materials for the roofers.
Oh my God, I love it.
Then they moved me into inside sales. And so I learned the product, I learned the specs, I learned the coverage and pricing and what was working and what wasn't working. And I did that for 6 months. And then they were going to move me into outside sales. And at that moment, when I was chasing a customer to come buy from us, he actually ended up getting me to work for him on the roofing side as a contractor. And it was as a sales guy. But when I started, I wasn't a sales guy. I was more of a general manager, because I was doing payroll. I was doing payroll taxes. I was doing the estimates, the invoicing, the sales, scheduling material, scheduling the permits, the inspections. And it was a huge learning curve, man. And I only had 1 month to really learn a lot of it, because the guy that was training me was the old owner. And he's like, I'm going to train you for 1 month. And after that, I'll be available for a phone call here and there. And so anyways, did that for like about a year and 2 months. It was fun until it wasn't. And then the wife got involved, and then just things changed, and she was a micromanager. And I was like, dude, I'm 22 years old. What the hell am I doing here? It's not like I can't go anywhere else. It's not like I'm a month away from pension. Like I'm just going to go and find a job somewhere else. And so at that time, The guy that actually hired me to work for MacArthur Company, when I left, we switched all of our purchasing to where I used to work at. And so when I was leaving, me and him had a great relationship, man. We talked every day, multiple times a day. And so I had told him about what was going on. And so he called me, goes, "Hey, you're gonna get a phone call. Just make sure you pick it up." So I get this phone call. I get this phone call from Alan Keller.
Okay.
And Alan was the owner of A&A Roofing, Alan and Aiden Roofing Services.
Okay.
And, and so he says, "Hey man, this is Alan. Hey, Dan Thigpen told me that you're looking to that you're looking to leave the industry, and me and my wife are trying to move to Texas, but the only thing that's holding us down is our business, and we'd be interested in seeing if you'd be willing to purchase it." And I go, "Absolutely not. Absolutely no way. Like, I have $6,000 in my checking account. There's no way." And he's like, "Come to dinner, come to dinner." So long story short, 2 dinners later, I purchased his house and I purchased his business on the seller finance deal. Down payment here, and then the rest over.
Wait, hold on. How old are you?
Right now I'm 26.
So when did you buy this business?
In when I was 22.
Do you know what I was doing? I was 22.
What was that?
It's getting drunk and looking to get laid, right? Like,
Yeah.
dude, I was being an idiot at 22. You're out buying businesses, owner financing.
Yeah, well, I was still an idiot, and I tell people that at the time, man, like I tell people, I thank God that I wasn't an analytical person, and I wasn't like risk to reward ratio, because dude, I was very clueless. I just had a dream, man, and I just knew that this was one of those things that if I didn't say yes to right now, later down the road, I was going to have to be looking at somebody that had the life that I would have had. And I just could not, man. Everything. And it was so crazy because around that time, I was having these revelations to myself. And it was like, I was starting to realize that, like, throughout high school and everything, up until that moment when I bought the business, I only regretted all of the things that I didn't do. Like, I don't regret anything that I did. Like, oh, I regret doing this with my buddies and we got caught, we got suspended at school. I don't regret that. I laugh about it now. Like, but I regret all the things that I didn't do. I wish I would have put more effort into basketball. I wish I would have took trainings more seriously. I wish I would have done this and done that. And so I was like, man, I'm not going to live my life by this. And so long story short, we ended up purchasing the business in 2020. So that was in 2021. March 1st, 2021, we did our first roof, and had 3 employees. The year that I bought the business, they had done $780,000 in revenue. That was their biggest year. My first year in business, we did 2.1 million. Second year in business, we did 3.5 million. Year 3, we went back. We did 2.7 million. That was a really bad year. That year, we almost went out of business. And then we bounced back last year. That was 2024, year 4, and we made our revenue goal to be 5 million, and we hit that in November of 2024. And we also paid off completely the business in September of 2024. And so that was the year that I tell people that, like, we were in the hole, and that was the year that, like, we were finally able to, like, just like be at like eye level and like, oh, this is what it looks like on this.
That's so
side,
cool.
Right?
Now, you're mostly retail up in
99%. Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to sit on social media and watch these other guys in the United States just show up and take orders.
And that's the thing, man. Like, to answer your question, like, the why didn't come honestly until like January of this year. Yeah. Because I was so busy. Like, it wasn't like I was, and if I can give anybody a piece of advice, is do that from the beginning. Understand what's your mission statement. What are your remarkable principles? What are your core values? And what I was telling you is that we did 5 million with these problems all the time, stress all the time. I was like, dude, I'd rather do 2 million and not have all these problems. But
I know, man. Good for you, bro. We hire to that kind of like philosophy, the mission statement, the value, the purpose.
Yeah. And we create our mission statement. So what that is, man, it's protecting roofs, empowering youth, and strengthening communities. Our 3 remarkable principles are things that we didn't pick. Our customers picked our remarkable principles from us. We decided to put them on our marketing, but I went through Google and I looked at all of our reviews and I picked the 3 most commonly used words that people were using, and it was reliable, responsive, and professional.
Dude, that is brilliant. Anybody listening to this, listen to Noe. He's a young guy, and he's learned so much. I mean, dude, I'm 55 in January, bro. You're like up here. So listen, folks, to what Noe just said. He looked at his reviews. He looked at the commonality of the words. He looked at what people were saying, and he reverse engineered his his mission statement and his core values to what his customers were saying about him. It's brilliant. Because a lot of people will just go to ChatGPT and type it in and then try to live to it. You were already doing it. Your customers told you what you were doing, and then you said, oh, there we go. Brilliant. Kudos.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. And what that also did for us, man, it set a level of accountability that we didn't know that was going to uncover. Because when we get customers calls from our customers, like I tell my sales guys all the time, guys, it's 3 things. It's not 10 things. It's not 20 things. It's 3 things. Yeah. If we're not all 3 of those 3 things, then we're not doing our job. I don't care if we're 2 of those 3 things.
I love it. Then you can train to it. You can coach to it. You can modify to it. You can do everything to it because you have it written down and your team understands those 3 specific things. So you've already answered question number 2, which was, why'd you start your company? So thank you for bringing that through. And this is a 30-minute TubeCast, by the way. We keep them at 30 so you can get back to work. And we've learned, and we did the study, that the attention span of people listening to TubeCast and podcasts is about 25 to 30 minutes now, at 8:45 to an hour. So that's why we have it at a half an hour. Good. So you've answered 2, which was, take us back to what sparked you from doing your business. Number 3, let's dive into your market. Let's talk about who you serve. Who is your ideal customer? Who do you love working with and why? I know it's loaded. So who do you serve? Your ideal customer. Who do you love working with and why?
Yeah. So 8 out of 10 of our customers, so about 80% of our business is through previous customers and referrals. So we
wait, hold on. How long was A&A in business prior to you kind of coming into the fold? How many years?
2017. So that would have been 4 years.
So they don't have a 38,000 database of customers they served over the last 40 years. You didn't buy you didn't buy a massive book of business.
No, they didn't have a CRM. Everything they did was it was just through like invoices, and every estimates were through like Microsoft Word.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So they didn't have a Google page. They didn't have an Instagram. The only thing that they had as far as marketing was just a Facebook page. That was it. And their truck wraps and business cards, but that was it. No website, nothing. And so 8 out of 10 of our customers is previous customers or referrals. And 50% of those 8 customers, so about 4 of those 8 that we sign, are either real estate agents, property managers, or contractors. Our motto, it's actually, we trademarked it, and it was one of those things that in the beginning that we rebranded. Obviously, when we bought the business, we changed the logo colors. We didn't change the name, but one of the things was like my motto, like, man, what's our motto? Like, what do I want it to be? I don't want it to be some sleazy, like, trust us to be your local roofing contractor type of deal,
Yeah.
And that took a while. It kind of like took a month or 2. And then we ended up landing on #SavedByRelationships, because I understood that the only reason why I have the business that I have today is because of everybody around me. If it would have been for that relationship that I developed with Dan would have never told Alan to call me. Alan had contractors, his own workers, and a book of people that he already had that he could have talked to and called and sold to them. But why would he call me if I've never talked to him in my life? And so it was just one of those things that it was a very easy thing to say no. And so #SavedByRelationships just kind of hit home, because in that seller finance deal, I had to come up with $50,000. I had $6,000. I needed to raise $44,000 in a month.
How'd you do it?
A roofing company here in town let me borrow $5,000.
A competitor?
A competitor let me borrow $5,000.
I love this story.
$10,000 came from my uncle. $25,000 came from my dad. And then $5,000, the last $5,000 that I needed, it came to a guy that I didn't even know that had $5,000. And he was a guy that I used to sell Amway vitamins back in high school. He called me and said, hey, I heard what you're doing, and I have some money sitting around and it's not doing anything. I'd like to do it, contribute to a good cause. The only thing that I ask is once you start your roofing company, come put the installation into my shop. I said, dude, I'm on my way.
So that was it? That was the payback on that deal?
That was that, man. That was. He
didn't want to make 38%?
Nah, man. And everybody was paid back within a month. Our first month of business, we paid everybody back. We were that's how good of a first month we had. And so we paid everybody back. But like the #SavedByRelationships was something that like we don't like just say to be cute. Like we stand behind it. Like our real estate agents, like, hey, we got this inspection that came up. It's just a couple pipe flashings that are cracked and some exposed nail heads. Could you take care of this for me? And just send me the bill. And we'll go, yeah, absolutely. I'll tell my sales guys, hey, just make sure you give this to her for free. Tell her we're going to take care of it for her. She sends us a ton of work all the time. Dude, we're going to be there on for an hour. Like, what the hell? The material is going to be like $30. Just take care of it for free. It's going to go a long way. And it's going to make her look like a superstar. If I'm a real estate agent and I go to the customer, I go, hey, Chris, I just want to let you know that my roofer told me that, he's not going to charge you absolutely nothing for this. It's the relationship that we have. And so I just want to let you know that the roofing part is getting taken care of and you're not going to have to pay a single dime. Like, wow, like, that's why I hired you. Good job. Noe, good job. Like, we want to make our customers look like a superstar. Property managers, same thing, man. We want to
when you go out to do that job, that little quick repair for your roof, are there homes right next door, or do you live in a very rural area?
No, yeah, there's homes. Yeah, there's homes.
So when you go out to that job, that's kind of the relationship job. Do you have door hangers that you do 5 by 5 by 10 to say, hey, we're in the neighborhood working on some roofs. If you need some help, scan the QR code?
So what's funny is we actually don't, but that's actually one of the things that's in our leadership agenda that you're actually bringing up, because we're going to start, like, we're doing a lot of reroofs. We just signed 13 deals.
I'm thinking, like, you went out for the relationship job. Let's call it a relationship job, and you're there, and it's taking you an hour, and they see your truck in the neighborhood, and there's 5 there, and 10 across the street. And you slap the door hanger on. You don't even knock. Just put it on. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, we're in the neighborhood doing some roof repair. If you ever need any help, we're here to help. You scan the QR code. Up pops the landing page video of me going, hey, it's Chris at A&A Roofing. Look, we're in your neighborhood today. We're just doing some roof work. If you'd ever need an estimate, we're here to help. I just wanted to leave my information for you. Feel free to call anytime that you want. Oh, by the way, we offer 12% savings cash. No, I'm just kidding. But, like, it seems like if you went out for the relationship job, and you were fortunate and blessed enough for them to call you back, so you got the opportunity to be on a roof, which is really cool. And then you're in the neighborhood, and if there's 20 homes there, so instead of just servicing the one relationship job, we served 21 homes, which we marketed to let them know that we just serviced this particular job. Be kind of cool.
Yeah. The next time that me and you talk, I guarantee you we'll have that in place, because we move really fast. We don't sit on these ideas. Like, if it's a good idea and it makes sense, then we implement it as soon as possible.
And that's code. Video. QR code. Don't be phone number, email, website. Dude, scan the QR code, and the sales rep's video is going, hey, I'm Chris. I work at A&A. We're in the neighborhood right now doing work. We want to help you if you ever need it, or anybody you know from church, work, or school. I'm your guy. I'm your roofing guy. Thanks for listening to this 36-second video. We'll talk to you soon. Like, make that video go to a person, a visual, because people don't connect with door hangers and phone numbers and websites anymore. It's just a commodity. However, if they connect to a video of a live person saying, I'm Chris, I work at A&A Roofing. We're helping these folks out right now with a repair. We're in your local neighborhood. We're here to help. If you ever need or know of anybody that needs it, I'm your guy. We're the company in this market right now that can help and will help you.
Yeah. Next time me and you talk, when I go live with this and when we come up with a video, and I'll post it on Facebook, I'll make sure you tag me.
Rock it out, baby. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right. That was number 3, and we're getting to the end. Number 4 or 5. We kind of talked about it already, so we may have to talk about something else. It was what's your core values, your mission, and your purpose. Dude, every question I've asked, you've already answered the next question within it. Your principles in driving your team operate, stand up. You nailed it. It's saved by relationships. Now, when I post this up on social medias and YouTubes and in my, the thing that we're doing here with the building on purpose, I am labeling this hashtag saved by relationships. I wrote it down. It's right here. So now that I wrote it down, it's going to happen. That's how this thing's going to be titled. So why don't you just take us home, man? Talk about anything you want to talk about in the next couple of minutes. About anything you'd like about your business, brother.
Yeah, and I'll wrap it up in like a minute. I'm talking about this tomorrow. I'm talking at the Home Builders Association. They got me to come in and speak to them on scaling, and nice. We went from 3 employees and we're up to like 50, 55 employees now. And so we've scaled 380% over the last 4 years. And one of the things that I talked on earlier is just your systems and processes. And that's what really allows you to be able to scale. And a lot of the time, You're like, well, how do I structure it? Dude, anything that's repeatable, you have to have a system and a process for. And one of the perfect example of the system and process that we're currently working right now is our financing.
Okay.
And it's within Slice with you guys, because now that we're doing more financing and we're starting to see that, the guys are coming to me is, hey, so and so called and they said that they submitted the application. Do you know where it's at? Hey, and so called, said that they uploaded documents. Do you know if they got pre-approved? And it's one of those things that it's going to be repeatable over and over again. So right now we're building the complete SOP and written step by step on how the customer fills out the application, how the sales rep follows up with the application, where to look at for documents that were requested, when to call and follow up with a customer, all the way until the end.
I love it.
We get funding.
What
and so,
system are you using for your communication device between you and your homeowners?
As far as a CRM?
No. How are you communicating to let the customers know anything? What's happening? Project is set for here. Permit is pulled here. We'll be here. Your file, your loan is approved. It's in the process. Oh, you got to upload a doc. What communication device are you using? A CRM or using anything?
Yeah, so we use a CRM. We use RoofLink to do a lot of like the inspections and welcome emails and a lot of the automation stuff. But the other stuff that has personal touch, we text it, but we don't text.
Okay.
We send videos.
Okay, good. So Builder Comms, my buddy Ron Nussbaum owns a company called buildercomms.com. I just interviewed him 2 days ago. He's been a friend of mine in this industry for 5 or 6 years. I check it out. It might be something cool.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
It's a communication device. Boom, 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 and it ties in, I believe, into your CRM. So,
wow, awesome, man. No, well, this is great, man. This is awesome. I appreciate you having me.
I don't get floored often. It's hard to floor me because I'm older than you, a lot older. I'm 3 times your age almost. I have to be honest with you. You floored me.
Thanks, man.
It doesn't happen very often. I am so freaking proud of you.
I appreciate that, man.
To do what you've done in an age and have the challenges that you've already faced at your age, and to raise funding in your 20s and be self-funded and not have to go to VC, venture capitalists, and people that take advantage of you, and have people trust you. Dude, I am floored. I'm so proud to be working with you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I really do. And I see everything that you're doing. And so there's some inspiration there as well. And we love working with you guys. And the one time that I really needed you guys to pull through on something earlier this year, you recommended me to Nick with Purple Loans, man. And we got funded within a month, and that solved our problem.
Amazing. Well,
actually, it was like within 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm thankful that you're part of our organization. I'm glad we're partners. Best of luck to you at your presentation and your speech tomorrow. You'll do quite well because dude, you're not just saying it, you're actually fucking doing it. So good for you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm going to get this thing launched and get it up to YouTube. I'll share it with you so you can share it to your community. And man, I'm just super proud. I'm really glad that we took a half an hour out of our lives to share your story, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Thanks, Chris, man. Have a good one.
We'll see you soon. Bye now.
All right, see ya. Bye.